Hi, welcome to the Free Range Organic Human Podcast. I'm your host, Ted Heistman, and my first guest on my new podcast is going to be the Monarch Butterfly. Right behind me here is a small butterfly sanctuary here on the Livingstone homestead in the Adirondack Mountains. And last year we had at least 100 monarch caterpillars feasting on these milkweeds. And I was able to follow their whole life cycle from the parents coming, flying in and laying the eggs, and the eggs developing into larvae and chewing up the milkweeds. But unfortunately today, my guests aren't able to make my podcast because basically they've been killed by Monsanto. This year, for the first time in 40 years, that Star has had this homestead in her family and lived on the homestead. For the first time, the monarch butterflies have not come back from Mexico. And we have not found a single butterfly on this sanctuary. Last year, there were very many monarch butterflies flying around, and we saw lots of caterpillars. But this year, the milkweeds are in great shape because nothing is eating the leaves. There's only a few species of butterflies that eat milkweeds, and the Viceroy and the Monarch are two that we saw last year. And so now these milkweeds are doing great, and nothing's eating them. Basically, they've been killed off by Monsanto GMO corn and soybeans that are Roundup ready and sprayed with herbicides. There's been some studies this year that have validated that suspicion that people had that Roundup is killing off the monarchs. It just kills all the milkweed. Between 1999 and 2010, the amount of milkweed on over 125 million acres of farmland plunged by 58%. And over the same period of time, monarch egg production fell by 81%. And a new study this spring by researchers working in Mexico in the wintering grounds discovered that the monarch population is down 59% from last year. So monarch population is crashing. These butterflies that lay eggs here and have babies every year, they migrate to Mexico, and sometimes it takes a couple, 3 generations for them to come back. The same butterflies don't make the round trip every year, but their offspring, go to Mexico, then another generation comes back. It takes a few generations, so these monarch butterflies have to stop over on the Midwest as they head into Mexico, and so they have no habitat anymore. They used to have rows of corn, and in between the rows of corn would be milkweed. On the edge of the cornfield would be milkweed, and so these GMO Roundup Ready seeds for corn and soybean, they're able to survive massive amounts of spraying herbicides. If they weren't genetically modified, if they were just normal, healthy breeds of corn, they wouldn't survive this massive spraying. And some of the weeds are even have become resistant to this, so they need to spray even more. And some of the chemicals are probably gonna be revealed through further studies to show to be harmful to humans. But the monarch butterfly, I guess there's no economic benefit to corporations like Monsanto. They had this model of industrial farming to just grow monocrops and just create a sterile environment of death for everything else. Just wipe out everything else that's not part of the financial bottom line. And because of this, I may experience the extinction of the monarch butterfly in my lifetime. May even be the next few years. But really, these butterflies, these beautiful butterflies, provide a lot of beauty and enjoyment for people. It's not something you really can quantify in dollars. I mean, you can in Mexico in the wintering grounds. There is a lot of tourist money that's being lost, but just in the course of life, when you spend time outdoors, you're just blessed by the beauty of monarch butterflies, and you can't put a price tag on it. And they don't really ask much from life. They give us so much, so much beauty and inspiration, but all they ask is these little milkweeds. That's all they really need, and lots of things aren't eating up these milkweeds, so why not let the monarchs eat them? They're immune to a lot of predators because of the bitter milkweed they absorb into their systems. So if it wasn't for this spraying of the milkweeds, the monarchs would be fine. And they'd be fascinating people. Children in school would be studying their life cycle and their migration pattern, and they would be able to live for years and years to come. But because of this horrible program of GMO seeds that are Roundup ready, and this massive, massive, massive spraying of poisonous chemicals, the monarch may be wiped out in the next few years. So I'm sad to say that my first guest wasn't able to make it, but just in their honor, I wanted to have this podcast. So thank you for listening.